Hi guys. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. And you know what? I really do appreciate this time even though okay, actually we hit 5 subscribers. But I feel like most of the time I'm really talking to no one, and that's fine because this is really like my therapy, my one-on-one time. And at my core, I'm really like an alone time girl. Like I just want to be alone and I don't want to talk to anybody. But since moving back home, I have a boyfriend now. I live with my family now. There's no time alone. It's also roasting in here. So I'm going to open the door for a second. What's crazy is that it's like the middle of December almost, and it's like 70 degrees outside. And it's really making me sad because I just want the snow. I'm not a fan of winter at all. Like, I wish I could just live in summertime all the time. But since it is supposed to be cold and like most days it's way too cold to go outside. The moment that it starts getting cold, I am inside and I don't see the sun, which is really sad because that's probably the only thing that's making me happy is being outside. But these days where it's like 70 degrees is really, really throwing me off because what do you mean? There's supposed to be snow on the ground. And also, if everything is dead and ugly, like I'm surrounded by fields, and so if it's not summertime, it's just like dirt surrounding me. And if it's all looking gross, I'd rather it just be covered in snow. Wintertime wonderland, whatever. But it's fine. Um I got back from my trip like a week ago. Okay, maybe it wasn't a week ago. What day is it today? It's Thursday. So perhaps a week ago. Shoot, dang. I'm sorry, guys. And I wanted to post a vlog, but I am not good at vlogging. But I am going on another trip for my birthday, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But I'm gonna insert a little montage of our trip here because it was a really cute trip and we had a lot of fun. Um, we rented a car the second day that we were there, and we had it for a couple days, and that was probably the best thing to do for our trip. And we've never been old enough to rent a car, except we rented one when we were in Italy, but that was just an insanely stressful time because we were driving in Italy. I mean, I wasn't. I would never do that. But my boyfriend, who's a really, really good driver and like literally works on cars and stuff for a living or used to, did not have fun driving there because it was just so crazy. But we had a lot of fun. We basically drove around the entire island like for 2 days straight. I think I was in the car for a total of probably 20 hours, but it was awesome. And then we got back and got back to work, but I've been scheduled less, which is honestly great for my mental, but not good for my money, especially because I really want to go on this trip. Anyways, montage real quick. Okay, this is what I made. Hashtag, can you make my hashtag? Hashtag VLOG vlog. Is that it actually goes? But um I really, really wanted to go on this trip for my birthday, and now that I've gotten back from Hawaii, I have even more of a traveling itch. Like I didn't think it could get worse, especially for someone who, like, I'm trying to save all of my money for going to Europe in like a year and like actually living there and like moving there for more than just a semester, and like I'm trying to be there for at least 2 years. So I'm going to need a ton of money because my sister's also going and she doesn't have time to work. So I'm kind of like sugar mommying her for a little bit while we're over there. But I knew that I wanted to go on a few trips this year just to get me through being in the wasteland, which is the state that I'm living in right now. And now that it's like actually happening, I feel so bad for my savings because I'm like, I'm not saving anything. I deserve a trip, honestly. I just got back from a trip, but whatever. But now that I've gotten back from Hawaii, I'm like, okay, I want to go to Europe for my birthday. I want to go away for a month. And I keep getting these ideas shoved down my throat by other people that I know who are like, let's go to Madrid for a month. All we need is like $1,000 each. Okay, I'm sure that we could do it for $1,000 each, but so I'm kind of, who knows what will happen. Hopefully I end up back in Europe in February. But the problem is I have to take a month off of work. Now, the awesome thing about my job is that because I'm a bartender, like that's the perk of being like a server or a waitress or something, is that you can take time off like that. Like you don't have to work a certain amount of hours a year. You don't have to like, you can swap shifts with anybody if you are scheduled all week. If you can get all those shifts covered, like you can do that because that's the job. The issue is at my work, the managers are really toxic and they don't like you to be happy. So if I had 5 days scheduled in the week and then I was like, hey, I have like 2 people cover my shifts. So I was like working 3 days a week. Then they'd be like, oh, so why don't you want to work? That's fine. We'll just schedule 3 days on from now on. When in reality, I was like sick or I had a family emergency and I just got it covered instead of calling out. Anyways, I hate them. Whatever, they're so toxic. They're the best place to work here. But also, guys, I hate being in my 20s. Okay, that's a lie. I love it. And once it gets better, I'm going to love it even more. It's so nice out. Like I'm hot sitting here in my sweatshirt. Whatever. You guys know the fig tree whatever thing? What book is that from? The Fig Tree? Where she's like, it's a sound on TikTok too, where it's like, I could see my whole life laid out in front of me, and one branch was, oh, it's from The Bell Jar. I literally read this book. Whatever. Well, this used to be a huge issue in my life because there's so many careers that I could see myself going into, and especially before college when you're applying, you're like, okay, what do I want to make the next 4 years of my life about? Like, what do I want to commit to for the rest of my life at 18? Like, that's insane. But now it's like my options are so, there's so many options, and all of them don't require a ton of commitment, and that is honestly it's a lot better. I was going to say it's worse, but it's better for sure, cuz now I'm not wondering what I'm going to do for my career for the rest of my life. I should be wondering that. And honestly, every day when I watch a movie or something, like last night, what did I watch? Babylon. I want to be a journalist. I want to be an actress. I also want to be an FBI detective. I want to be so many things, and it drives me nuts because if I want to be those things, like I actually have to go to school. A lot of the things that I want to be require a lot of commitment. Like I have to go to school for years. I have to go to a good school. I have to start now. And I can start now. Like I'm still so young, but also I don't have like I don't have it in me to commit that much, which is good for most of the careers that I want, like acting. I don't have to commit my entire life to being an actress if that's what I want my career to be. Like, you don't, what I'm saying is like, you don't have to go to school for that to be a good actress. You don't have to spend years and years and years of your life going to like paying money and going to school and blah blah blah, like as if you were going to be a doctor. I wouldn't be wasting any time where I could just like start going to auditions and like hope that it works out, and if it doesn't, then that's fine. Whatever. If I wanted to be a good actress, I'd probably want to commit my entire life to it. Whatever. Anyways, but now especially living in a place where it's like I obviously don't want to be here, like I want to be anywhere else, and living with my boyfriend too is there's so many options for where we could go for a possible route in our career. And it's like obviously we both have something envisioned for our future, which is what we want. How are we going to get there? There's like so many different ways that we could go about getting there, right? And so every single day he's on the phone with one of his friends, and he has friends like all over the country because he did door-to-door sales, and they're all like, they'll tell him about how they're doing well or how they're not doing so well, and they're the kind of friends that they want him there. And so I think literally 3 days ago on the phone, somebody called from Arizona. He's doing really, really well, and he's out there because of my boyfriend. And he was like, this is all because of you. Like, if you ever need anything, like, I have job offers for you. I have things that you could be doing here because I literally owe all of this to you. So he's like, okay, there's a really great setup in Arizona for me right now. Like, I could totally go work there for a few months and, like, see if I like it, see if it makes me good money. And I'm like, okay, that sounds awesome. Like, go do that. Go do you. 2 days later, he gets a call from some dude in Hawaii. Yeah, I've got a job offer for you too. We're renting out yachts. We're renting out sports cars. Like, it's so fun. You should come out. Another great opportunity. What? Go to Hawaii. Like, go anywhere but here, honestly. But it's like, there's so many awesome opportunities for him. And that's not really on my path. Like, I'm not in relationships. I used to put all of my eggs in one basket. And, like, in the past, if my boyfriend got an opportunity like this, I'd be like, okay, wherever you want to go, I will follow you, and I will uproot my life to follow your dreams. Not this time. If it's somewhere where I don't want to go, I'm not going. If I think it's going to be somewhere where it's beneficial for my career and like what I want to do, then I'll go. But also, I'm sick again. Whatever, it's fine. But and for me, I am thinking more long term, I guess. Like, what am I going to do in the next year? Because this is, again, one of my like phases that I'm going through where I'm deciding what I'm going to do next, and I'm saving up money in the process, and I'm playing it safe right now so that I can live out my life later. And it's kind of sad because I feel like my life is on hold every time that I'm back here. Like, does anybody else feel like that, where you're trying to figure out what you want to do, and in the process of deciding what you're going to do, you have your life on hold? Like, you're not doing anything for you. Like, I don't think I'm actually living out my life right now. I'm just here. My stomach is going crazy. And I think I did that the last time I came back here too, where it's like every time that I go away to college or to travel or something, that's when I'm actually living my life. Like, I want to make friends. I want to explore my interests and my hobbies, and I want to have a good routine, and I want to go to the gym, and I want to like have a social life and work on my career at the same time, and like actually build a good life for myself. And whenever I'm here, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do in a year? And then that almost stresses me out so much that I'm not thinking about what I'm doing now. I'm just thinking about the next year to come and how I'm going to make that happen. And if I were to live out my life here, like, I feel like I wouldn't be able to make that happen, which is complete bogus. Like, I think that the money that I'd have to spend for a membership at the gym, or if I wanted to go out to drinks with friends every week, like, that's money that I can't save. And then I'm also like, okay, if I'm spending all this time with friends or putting all my energy into making friends, I'm not going to have any energy for myself to like do this or to read my self-help books or to work on my college applications or anything like that. And so every time that I come back home, which it's been 2 times now, I'm not actually living out my life, and it obviously is not good for my mental health. Like, and everyone can see it too. Like, I mean, everyone, like my family, because I am not the most stable person mentally. And so when I'm going through it, like, they can tell, obviously, like, I isolate myself I'm not the happiest girl to be around. I'm not the funnest girl to be around. And I'm just like mostly working so hard to make things happen, but at the same time I feel so incredibly lazy. And I feel like that's also an issue with like today's world is you can't just go work your one job and let that be enough to live your life, especially in America. Maybe in other places, but like I'm working a ton. I talk about it every single time I'm on this podcast, and I'm making a really good amount of money for my age, but I feel so behind. And I think it's also a lot of social media because we're watching all these people, especially if you're like 20 years old, like me, or in that age group, like 17 to 25. The expectations, honestly, I don't think the expectations are so high, but we think they are because we see so many of these young people, or that's all that we see, are these young people that are rich, that are flying from New York to Dubai to Miami, and who have money to go to Art Basel, and who have like, and we don't know their backstory. Maybe they have rich parents or whatever, but that's all that we're seeing. And I thought it's so weird because as we like evolve as a society, I always had this notion in my head that like we're getting better at these things. We don't prioritize wealth or beauty or whatever. Like those are not the things that we care about. We care about real happiness and like connection and whatever and being a good person to your community and blah 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 blah. No, we don't. We only care about wealth and beauty, and it's crazy. And but that's like, and maybe that's just me. Maybe that's all I'm seeing on my Instagram and my TikTok because that's all that I care about. But like think about all the people, obviously famous people are going to be rich, but it's like all the people I don't know. I see too much wealth that's literally all that I'm thinking about all the time is like how am I going to get to that point? How am I going to get rich? And all these people are doing like all these side hustles with along with working. And it's like, okay, well, I need to be doing that too. And an average girl is not just going to college and maybe working like a little job on the side. She's also thinking about her future, doing all these things to make sure that she's going to be rich in the future. And so I'm like, okay, there's a bajillion things that I need to be doing right now. I need to be investing. I need to be like working on my credit and being financially, what's the word? I need to be financially, what's the word? Ah, where you are able to like read finances. That's not it, but it's like, what is it? Financially literate. I need to be financially literate. I need to be going to a really good, prestigious school. I need to also be having tons of friends and going to the gym and working on my skincare and then also reading on my time off and then traveling also and then making 40K every month and then girl, you're 20 years old. Whatever. So, and then that gets to the point where it's like I think I've been burnt out for years and I don't know how to fix it, especially in this world. Like I I think that's the problem is that I wish for so much all the time, and that's why I won't let myself get into a normal routine of like being here my life is on hold because this is not what I want my life to look like obviously. So why would I live this life? This is not what my life's supposed to be. So I'm waiting until it's something that it is supposed to be to actually live my life. Do you know how toxic and terrible that is? Like, what are you talking about? It's like if a person was trying to become a famous actress, she's not letting herself be herself. She's not letting herself have friends, enjoy her actual day to day life until she becomes a famous actress. Who knows, that might never happen. Are you never going to live your life because you're just waiting for it to be exactly what you envision it to be? And so that's what I'm feeling now, but it's also like, I don't know. Guys, I'm so glad I got to come to talk to you because I'm so stressed out about a bajillion things. And I honestly don't know how to fix it besides fix it. you know? And maybe that's why I travel, or I'm wanting to travel so much, is to like get my mind off of that, because again, when I'm traveling, that's like that's my actual life. Like I'm not who I and I got that feeling as soon as I touched back in Idaho is I am not myself while I'm here. Like me at work is not really me. I'm only actually myself when I'm on a vacation. And out of the past 6 months, I've been on vacation 5 days out of the entire 6 months. So am I really like gonna continue that with my life? I have, let's see, it's December and the goal is to be leaving in August. So we've got what, 8 months? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, 8 months. 8 months to figure out what I want to do in the first place. Like, what am I doing in 8 months? I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. I don't know. I was supposed to be figuring it out last month. And that's fine. I'm 20 years old. Like, let's remember that. But I think it's so, I crave so many different things as like a person every day. When I do think about my future, I'm like, okay, well, how do I want to live out my life? Like, how do I want to spend it? Do I want to feel like at ease and separated from the hustle? Do I not want to worry about that? Or am I going to feel discontented because I didn't even try? And that's like a big factor in location. For me, it's like I've always had this dream of going to New York or going to Miami and trying to like grind it out like all of those people who live there do, and like trying to make it there, because obviously that's a place where you have to make it to be able to survive. I mean, you don't have to. There are people there that don't. But I feel like the culture over there is like people work so hard and everybody's going after so many different things that it's like I would have to figure it out if I was there. Or do I want to go somewhere just so laid back and so chill where I could just live like a simple human existence and be happy and not worry about everything? Like, not worry about becoming a millionaire by 22, not worrying about making it to like Forbes 30 under 30 or whatever it is, you know? But I don't know. It's also like, I don't know. That's where my distinction between am I lazy or am I extremely hardworking? I don't know. I think I've become so blind to that. And no, I probably am really lazy. But that's the thing. It's like, or am I burnt out because I'm working so hard? I don't know. I'm back at these fishing ponds that I was at 2 weeks ago. And there are just odd people around every time I come here. Like, I could have sworn that truck was abandoned. And now they're driving away. And that's a little scary. And I hope they don't wind back around. This rich guy invited me to a Christmas party. And he's really, really sweet. He comes into my work and he gives me like 150 every time. And he's like really genuine, I think. But he invited me out to this Christmas party. He was like, you could bring your boyfriend, you could bring your sister if you want. But the problem is it's like 3 hours away and it's in the middle of nowhere, and they rent out this bar because they serve really good prime rib or something like that. And he was like, we have a van coming through to like pick up and drop off people. And I have this one guy running it because he doesn't drink. Like, he's going to be the designated driver for everybody. But if you want to stay, like, we can get you a room. Which sounds like awesome. Like, that's so sweet. Thank you for thinking of me. I'm reading this book right now though, and it's called like The Obsession. This girl found out that her dad was a murderer and he murdered like 20 girls. Um in the woods by their house and she didn't know. I just like, it's also, what's hesitant to the point of not having any fun in my life? What's so careful? Or should I just go? That didn't make any sense. That did not make any sense. um I really want to go though, and I never have a Saturday off. So it's like, and I have this Saturday off, so it kind of makes sense and I think I should go. But my boyfriend's not going to come with me cuz he's going snowboarding. Anyway, but I think it would be really really fun, and honestly, I need something like that. Like it's going to be a little country party with some rodeo people, some guys who like to ride bulls out in the middle of nowhere in Nevada. Like, and that's a part of the I don't live my life unless I'm somewhere where I want to be. I could live my life for like one night, but I probably won't go. Who knows? Maybe I will go. Maybe I'll get kidnapped and killed. Ugh, I hate it. Whatever. Yeah, so I think I'm going to go to New York for my birthday. That's what I'm trying to get at. But also, I told my friends who live in Greece that I am probably going to come up there for like 3 weeks. And then I was looking at the flights for me and my boyfriend, and I was like, actually, I'm not going to do that. But in my head, I was paying for my boyfriend, which is so bizarre because I just said I don't put all my eggs in one basket when it comes to boyfriends anymore. So if I'm not going to move with him to like one state over or 2 states over for his job, why would I pay for him to go across the country? I actually should just buy my flight and tell him to figure it out. I really need to do that because I want to go. But today at work I'm going to talk to them about having 1 month off, and if they fire me, then what would I do? Honestly, I could at this point, I could pick up all my stuff and move to a different state if I wanted to. That's the thing that really pisses me off because it's like my dream is to move to Europe, but it would be way easier to just move across the country, especially with my sister. Like there's so many visas and whatever the crap that has to go into it, and uh sorry guys, this is just like my indecision. Is that the word? Um on camera, but whatever. What else can I talk about? Let's talk about more of the 20s stuff. My entire Instagram is people that I know getting engaged. I feel like I've touched on this before, but I need more college friends. Honestly, I need more college friends because every one of my friends that didn't go to college, they're getting engaged and I fear for my life. But it's also just like growing up in this area, obviously those are all the people that I follow on Instagram and they are getting engaged. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's just not my life path. And I don't really like seeing that stuff on my Instagram. No offense to if you're like a girl who got married young and anything, like that's just not for me. And I like to see more inspiring things on my social media. But all the people that I met while I was out in Greece and stuff who live on like the East Coast, sorry guys, there's a hair in my eye. But they are all doing like such cool things and it makes me so jealous because I want to be surrounded by more cool people. But that is something that I really want to talk about. Where I'm at, me and my boyfriend are very high achievers. Like we have really high expectations for our lives. And so being back here is really detrimental to our health because every single day we're like, okay, we're not where we want to be. We're trying, things are not working. We want things to work out like so badly, and we have a timeline in our minds of when it has to happen, but it hasn't happened yet and it feels like we're behind schedule. And so every day waking up in a place where it's like we're not inspired and we don't feel uplifted by being here, especially by like not just the environment, but the people around us, makes it really, really hard to be here. And the people aspect, I think, is what is the most detrimental. And I'm so grateful that I have him because that's every day somebody else who's with me who is like working towards a goal, thinking about their future all the time. And that is like the number one thing that I wanted in a partner when I got out of my last relationship. I was like, I need somebody who has goals, who is trying to become a better person every day, who's thinking about their future all the time, because I don't want to settle for this life. And that's what it really comes down to, is like, yes, I don't have to be trying a bajillion different things to like like I was talking about at the beginning of this video. Like, yes, I am only 20 years old, and yes, I have a really good job that pays pretty good for my age. That's not all that I want in my life. It's not all that I want, and I don't want it to be here, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that, and a bunch of people try to make me feel bad that that's not what I want, and that's mostly because that's what they're doing. Like, everyone here didn't leave, or they left and they came back, and they want to work every day and work the same job and not have to be stressed about work outside of work, and they want to have their small town life and their friends and their quaint little home. And that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, my parents have that. They love their lives. That's not what I want. And I wish that people, like, ugh, that's the part about being in this area, because I know if I changed, like, areas, like if I went to New York, everyone would be like, well, duh, you don't want to stay there for the rest of your life. Duh, you don't want to work as a bartender the rest of your life. Duh, you don't want to stay in a small little town where there's nothing to do every single night of the week and where you're just bored at home. And like the only thing that you can do is raise a family. Like, that makes sense that you wouldn't want to do that. But talking about that out loud here, I feel like I'm getting shunned. Like, people are like, what's wrong with you? You don't like Idaho? You shouldn't. Like, I literally had this guy at the bar the other day. It wasn't the other day, it was like a few weeks ago. But he was asking me questions about myself. And we always get on the topic of Europe and whatever, because that's what I think about all the time. Like, I just got back from studying abroad. It's been 6 or 7 months now, but that's what I think about 24/7. And so I usually tie in my conversations to that somehow, which can be very, very annoying. I'm sure my coworkers hate me for that, but whatever. But a lot of the times, like, people are asking, like, are you going to school? Like, people want to know what your plan is for life, duh. And my plan right now is I'm working all the time. I'm working the most hours out of everybody in this restaurant so that I could save up my money and go away, because I hate it here. And that guy was like, why don't you just go to, there's a little community college right here. Tiny, tiny college. Like, my sister is taking classes there right now. She's about to get her associates from there. But she's in high school. And that's a really good way to save money, is to go to community college in your town. That's not a good way to follow your dreams. By the way, I already have my associates. So I was telling him, I was like, oh yeah, like, I'm saving up money to go to college. I'm looking at like Italy or Scotland. He's like, why would you want to go there? Just go to the community college here. And I was like, well, sir, I already have my associates and they only go to their associates. And he was like, you should just go to the college here. Well, I can't, and I don't want to. And he was like, well, why don't you go to like Boise State or something? Sir, I already went to Boise State for 2 years and I hate it there, and I'm trying to get far away from Idaho. I want to go to Italy or something. He's like, that's stupid. You should go to this community college. Dude, what the heck? Actually, that's the most bizarre. Like, first of all, why are you asking me questions about my life, and then you decide that you don't like it and you're trying to tell me to do something else? That is bizarre. That's weird. And he's like a little old man sitting at a bar in the middle of nowhere. Like, who cares about what you think, first of all? And after that, I was like, ugh, whatever. I'm leaving. I'm not talking to you again. And being a bartender sucks because I'm stuck behind the eyes of these men for hours and they just love to stare. But I did not talk to him for the rest of the night. And he's the kind of guy that's like, hey waitress, shut up. Get your actual waitress, because that's not me. But he just makes me so mad. But I feel like that's how most of the people are in this area. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to graduate high school and become a construction worker and raise your family in somewhere that you already know and love, and not wanting to see anything else. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people really, really value family. Some people really, really value just like safety. And that's fine, but that's not what I value. And some people can't comprehend that, especially when that's like all that they see and all that they've wanted. Especially like my family too, not my immediate family, but like when I got back from Europe, I was gone for 6 months, and these people did not want to hear about like the cool places that I went, but they were like, okay, well, what plan is next? I was like, oh, well, I really want to go to New York or Miami this year. And they literally gagged in my face. And I was like, you guys haven't left the state in 10 years. You haven't been on a plane in 30. So I don't even want to hear it from you. This place makes me want to gag. These people make me want to gag. Ugh, sorry, I don't mean to get fed up about it and like pissed off so much, but it genuinely pisses me off. And that's another reason of why like I don't want to live my life here, because this life is not for me. And I can't live my life here. There we go. That's why I love talking to you guys. Disregard everything that I said in the beginning, because the reason why I don't live my life when I'm here and I only live my life when I'm on vacation, or why I'm waiting to live my life until I'm where I want to be in life, is because I have been living this life. I've been living this life for like my entire life. I've been here and I don't enjoy it and I don't like it and I've never been happy here. And so why would I try and pretend like I want to hang out with these people? Like I want to like try and pursue my interests here. There's no like, guys, I'm a dancer. You cannot be a dancer here unless you are from the ages of 2 to like 18. That's it. That's all they have for you. And like, ugh, the fact that like sometimes I will get in those moods where I'm like, okay, like I can make my life worth it while I'm here. Like I can try and be in plays and stuff and blah blah blah. And every time I end up trying to research it, it's like these are my options. That's crazy. That's whack. And I should be grateful. Like I have a great situation right now. I'm just not in the area that I want to be in, and that's fine. But I think that's like the real downer, guys. I need to be in a place where people have the same mindset as me, and I miss that so much about being like in Greece, because I was with people who were in college, right? And I'm not trying to go back to school, or maybe I am, I don't know. But these people have different goals for their lives for the next few years, other than relationships, other than starting a family, other than like settling down. And everybody that I know is ready to settle down when I feel like we haven't accomplished anything yet. And that's what makes me like the most dissatisfied. And obviously everybody's different, and I don't mean to sound like a bitch when I say all this, because obviously other people have goals. Like not everybody wants to get rich, not everybody wants to move to a big city. Some people just want to have a good family and security and like be in love, and that is so fine. Like that honestly, that sounds like a great life. But I was blessed to have a great family growing up. Like I already had the family. I've been around kids my entire life. I don't want to have kids right now. I'm young and I have so many things to accomplish, and I feel like, especially looking on Instagram, I'm like, everybody that I know, everybody that I went to high school, I haven't seen anything interesting posted on Instagram. I just keep seeing proposals and children. And honestly, that does not entertain me. That's not like, oh my gosh, good for you. That's like, what are you doing? You haven't done anything with your life. And that's so rude and terrible if you have kids. But gosh, I'm just in the wrong place. That's what it really is. And I'm surrounded by the wrong people. And it can be really discouraging all the time. And I'm just, dang, guys. And I don't mean to hate on people with kids and people who want to start families. Like, I feel like those people have old souls. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't really want much from life. They just want to be happy. And I feel like the way to do that, like, I feel obviously there's so much struggle that comes with raising a family, but there's no greater love. Obviously, there's no greater security, and I I can never be one of those people. I just want to be miserable, I guess. I don't know. Ugh. But that's another thing that I've realized from coming home is like when I I feel so behind in life and to so many people around me, I think they think that I'm doing really well or that I'm ahead because I do make good money at my job and I'm trying to explore other options and I have goals for my future and I'm also traveling at the same time. Like maybe to other people my life looks really good. But I feel like I get a lot of hate or like there's a lot of animosity, like secret animosity towards me in spaces where I'm around people my age in this town specifically because I'm like going after something different, you know? But I just think I'm searching for something more. I'm searching for something different than what all these people want and I feel like I get a lot of hate for it. And I can't wait to be in a place where I don't get hate for it. And that's why I'm really like back to my boyfriend too. He has so many different options of where he could go right now and I'm like just go. Honestly, go because there is not like people here are not trying to like reach for something bigger. They are not leveling up their lives. They don't care. Like my boyfriend was trying to sell websites at the beginning of this year and he was starting locally calling like all the businesses here and they're like, we don't really want a website. Like we don't want to grow our business. And that's what he would get a ton of the time. Like these people don't want websites because they don't want to grow their business. What do you mean? That would be unheard of in like New York. Are you joking? And there's like people can be satisfied with what they have. That's so fine. But if you are somebody who is chasing after something, is wanting something more from your life, and you're stuck in a place where nobody else wants more from their lives or from themselves, it's so damaging because it's like, okay, nobody is uplifting me. Nobody's like challenging me other than myself. And that was something in like I miss that so much because I'm such a competitive person. All the people that I'm competing with are like people I don't know, people I have never had conversations with, people I see on the internet who I'm not even like fans of, but I'm like, okay, they're doing really well, they're really successful. That's who I'm trying to beat other than people around me because I feel like I can't like we're not going head to head because you have already backed out of the race. Just like in cheer. Like I used to be a cheerleader. My best friend, she's my best friend because at first she was like my biggest competition. My biggest competition and then we became besties and we did everything together and we were, you know, and I mean like my boyfriend is kind of like that. He's not my biggest competition, but he's somebody that challenges me, you know, every day to be better. And if I didn't have him, I'd be freaking just reaching for something else and I don't know what it would be. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. I feel like, guys, I might be the most negative person. No, that's not true. I don't know. I feel like I start these episodes and I'm in such good mood and then I get angry at something and then I don't resolve it, which is, you know what? I'm just ranting to you guys. This is like the daily rant. Whatever. Also, guys, I hope you know I never say whatever in real life. I only say it here, and I think that's really interesting. Also, Isabel's my sister, guys, and I think she's somebody who is watching this right now, and if you're not, that's fine. But Isa, I love you, and I hope you're doing good. She's in college, guys. Okay, I'm gonna go because it's been too long. I'm gonna post this today. So, yeah, wish me luck, guys. Hopefully I can get out of here. I can. I'm gonna go. Peace out. I love you guys. Have a great week. I'm gonna see you next week. I'm gonna see you this week. I'm gonna post more and hopefully, I don't know.